changing your life, like saying no to the people who are around you, or saying, I want more from my life. I'm going to work and I hate my job, and my relationship's not working out, but I'm stuck in the rut and I'm doing it day in and day out, and I don't know how to get out of it, because to me this is everything that there is. How does someone get out of that?
I believe a great way to get out of any rut again is selecting the people you are with. If you're with successful people, if you're with people that are having success, success breeds success, you know. And if you're with good people, I want to have that. And that's how I was. I seen these guys, I wanted to have what they had. You know, not that I was jealous, because I've never been a jealous person. To be quite honest, I think that there should be a class at school where people read about the Jeff Fenechs, the Ben Eliases, the Mario Fenechs, the James Packers. Nobody got nothing for nothing. You guys, you never got nothing for nothing. We worked hard for what we've gotten. I just believe that these kids have got to know, because a lot of people, and I think one of the biggest diseases in the world today isn't AIDS or care, it's jealousy. And until we can teach these kids, listen, Jeff Fenech's got this house, or so and so's got 3. Howdy. Let them know how I got it. Let them know that I got up every morning at 6 a.m. and I ran in the rain, hail or shine. Let them know that I had sore hands and I fought with it. Let them know I had a broken sternum or whatever it was, and I was still able to, you know, to succeed and climb that mountain with all them adversities and difficulties. Let them know that. And then these kids want, gee, man, it'll just give them that inspiration I need, because listen, I've never not went somewhere and spoke to people and not inspired them. But like I said, what happens is, after you inspire them, how long does that inspiration last? How long does the memory keep it? It doesn't keep long. That's why we've got to constantly remind kids of what we want them to do and how they want to do it. Goal setting is the most important thing in the world, but achievable goal setting, setting yourself goals, having something written down where you can look at it every week, not once a month or once a year, because hey, in that time you get into trouble. Yeah. And if anybody can talk about getting in trouble, look at me. I mean, I'm the perfect example. I mean, you can use nobody else as an example, you know. Man, I've done some of the stupid things in my life. Only if I always say, only if I gave myself 10 or 15 seconds more to think about what I was going to do before I done it, I would never get in trouble. But guess what? That wasn't the Jeff Fenech that became world champion. He never stopped to think 15 seconds before I act instinctively. And whether it's right or wrong, that's just me. And if there's a lesson that kids or adults can learn from Jeff Fenech making a mistake, I'm happy they do. Because I say, look at that dickhead, call me what you want, call me an idiot, call me whatever you want, you know. I don't mind that as long as they can learn from me, because to be honest, Jeff, at the end of the day, I don't really care what people think about me. I only care what the mirror says to me, and I know myself.
So one of the things that I've noticed about you since we've hung out with you guys is that you've got a lot of heart. I mean, everyone sees you have heart in the ring. Clearly, you do.
So I don't believe that, but I believe that if we dissect every one of us, we've all got the same size heart.
Good.
But I believe this, that Jeff Fenech's mental preparation was better than anybody else's. Like when you see me last year. Yeah. Now, I only lost 50 pounds. How did I lose 50? Because I wanted to lose 50 pounds. Not because I had a big heart. Because every morning, every night before I went to bed, I told myself what I had to do. I told myself why I was doing it. It's mental preparation.
So affirmations. You believe in affirmations?
Definitely. Listen, what I'm trying to say is that, when people talk about, that guy, of course, they got courage and stuff, but the heart's not, or the body's not driven by the heart. It's driven by the mind. It's first from the head, then from the heart. This gives this the instruction. This doesn't give any instructions. It's not an instructor. This is the instructor. So if you've done it, you want to do something, this will tell, and then this will work. This will pump overtime. But it'll only pump overtime because this tells it and knows that this can do it. It can't do it on its own. It can't work vice versa.
So a lot of people have got very soft brains. They spend, they come home from their jobs that they hate, and they sit in front of the television and they zombie out. And on the weekends they trash themselves to forget that they're not living they're not congruent with their life. They're not living the plan that they wanted to when they got out of school.
They're not happy, but listen, we can't all be happy. When I first left school, Jeff, my first ambition was I wanted to be like everybody. I wanted to be show everybody I was strong. Here I was like 45, 46 kilo, laying bricks and doing being a brickie, labouring and stuff. I wanted to prove it, but it's not just about proving it. It's listen. My message and what we all should try to do, and it doesn't always work, but you've got to be happy in what you do. Try to find something that's going to make you, if you're not happy, don't not do it, because we have families you've got to look after, but try slowly to find something that makes you happy, because if you're doing something that you're not happy, what you don't realise, the detrimental effects that it has on your family and everybody else around you when you're not happy. That's why you go home and you drink, because you hated doing what you've done all day. That's why that when you get drunk you become violent and you have domestic things, or you hit your children, or hit your wife. That's why all these things happen. People don't realise I've just done 10 hours work, something that I damn hate. I hate the boss, I hate the people around me, I hate doing what I'm doing. Of course I'm going to be disappointed when I get home. Of course I'm going to look for an outbreak or an outlet to forget about it all. And listen, when you're drunk, or when you've got those feelings, or when you got to use drugs, or you don't know what you're doing then, and you don't know what's going to happen. Then all of a sudden the next day you regret it, because that's not your true character. I don't believe, when people do things under the influence or whatever. I know a lot of people have done things under the influence and stuff, and they're not the people that I know when they're normal. Like Mike Tyson's a normal person, one of the greatest people you'll ever meet. He's my great friend. But I've also seen him drunk. I've also seen him under the influence of drugs, and he changes completely.
Yeah, well, Mike's an interesting character because, clearly you look at the man and he's incredible. And then you look at how he's beaten himself, exactly what you said. So. And you think, what would he need to do? What would he need to do to pull himself out of...
He only ever needed one thing. He only needed to have good people around him.
Okay. Because he surrounded himself by the wrong people.
100%. They robbed him. He doesn't even own one of his world title belts. Had he had good people around him? Listen, he used to say, when he had $400 million, I've got to have a lot of money. I asked him a question, why? I've got a lot of friends to look after. Of course, it's great to look after friends. It's great your friends give you a pat on the back every time you buy a car, you buy them. When you buy a watch, you buy them. And that's great. That's great. But there comes a time where those guys who are getting things have to look at them. That's a bit too much, but it doesn't happen. That's what I'm saying. You've got to surround yourself with good people. And just like I said, I'm the perfect example. I've made plenty of mistakes, and I'll most probably make more. And I hope I don't, but I'll most probably make more. But hopefully, when I make a mistake, that somebody's going to learn, and they'll learn from my mistakes. Like I said, I'm pretty easy. I'm happy. I'm pretty blessed. I've got beautiful kids. I've got a great wife. I've got great friends.
So would that then translate to someone saying, "Oh, well, my life's crap, therefore it's meant to be crap, and I'm not going to do anything about it"? What would you say to someone who had that thought?
So I don't believe that. I've been talking to one of my friends who's been on Xanax for 15 years, and at the moment he's gone loopy. And he just told me the other day that his daughter's like 19 or 20, and she's taking. Make your daughter happy, mate. Look what it's done to you. You honestly, she needed it because she gets these moods. I said, why did you first find out why she gets the mood swings? Her brother drives her mad. Her mother and father. Try to find out. Try to help her. Try to make her happy, and see when she's happy if she needs anything. Obviously, people. I don't know. I'm somebody who don't believe that in going to see a psych or that these people can help you. I just think, they manipulate you. They ask you 140 questions, and they know which ones to ask, and it's like those people who read your life and that kind of stuff. They got a series of these questions, and if you say yes, they know the next question to ask. Just believe it's all crap. Obviously there are some sick people in the world. There are people who need help. There are people who have been, molested and damaged in their lives, and those people need help. But some of these young people today that are complaining for nothing, they go and get these medications. I think it's just detrimental after years of using medication all the time.